Subscribe GA. Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Elizabeth gets a significant promotion. Elizabeth revealed that she'd been helping Bobby all day, and it wasn't fair that the hospital expected Bobby to pull double duty as head nurse and chief surgical nurse. At the nurse's station, Portia invited Elizabeth to join her for drinks after work because Portia could use a night out with her best friend. Cordia understood and wished that Epiphany's replacement would be found soon for Bobby's sake. Elizabeth and Portia concurred that the incoming chief nurse will have some very big shoes to fill. Later, Terry and Finn approached. Elizabeth could tell they were in trouble by the looks on their faces. Elizabeth inquired, "What's going on?" Terry outlined how she and Finn had been briefed by the board regarding Elizabeth's employment at the hospital. Terry was urged to make his case by Finn out of compassion for Elizabeth. When Terry explained that the board had decided to award Elizabeth the job of chief nurse, she burst into laughter. Finn told Elizabeth that the offer was genuine and that Monica had approved the choice due to Elizabeth's many years of devoted work and Epiphany's high praise. Terry explained that Monica had intended to tell Elizabeth the good news, but she had been called away. Elizabeth was overjoyed and inquired as to when she might begin. Terry stated that although they would need to finalize the paperwork and agree on the salary arrangements, Elizabeth could begin the following week. Terry was followed by Portia and Finn to the elevator while Elizabeth spoke on the phone. The board had given Terry enough funding to recruit a second in command, but Portia and Finn made it obvious they had no interest when Terry reported this to them in the elevator. Portia said that she preferred dealing with patients over paperwork. Elizabeth went to the memorial wall in the meantime and contacted her grandma to tell her about the wonderful news. Elizabeth smiled and looked at the picture of Epiphany after the phone talk with Audrey. Elizabeth then focused on the image of Steve Hardy. Elizabeth answered, "Well, Grandpa, I did it. I hope that makes you proud," she continued. Elizabeth was joined at the memorial wall by Portia and Finn. Portia informed Elizabeth that Terry had agreed to meet them there to celebrate Elizabeth's new employment. Finn declined Elizabeth's invitation to join them, but he made sure Elizabeth knew he was delighted for her. After Portia and Elizabeth had departed, Finn went back to the nurse's station, but his mind kept wandering to Elizabeth. His cheeks broke out in a smile. Drew thought back to his talk with Carly in the hospital elevator when they had decided that the best plan of action was to get information on Tracy and use it as leverage to get Ned to halt the SEC inquiry. Drew took a quick look at his phone, but there were no messages from his lawyer there. Michael sat by Willow's bedside in the hospital room, dressed in a sterile hospital gown, cap, and face mask. When she awoke, he greeted her and inquired as to how she was feeling. The possibility that her illness might be behind them caused Willow to express that she felt both fatigued and hopeful. Drew suddenly came in the corridor and rapped on the window while holding his phone up to his ear. When the phone rang in the room, Willow answered it. After greeting each other, Willow informed Drew that she needed to stay in isolation until the medical professionals were convinced that her new bone marrow was working. Willow appreciated her good fortune and thanked Drew for all that he had done to support her. Willow recognized that if the SEC had detained Drew before he could bring Liesl to Port Charles, the outcome would have been different for her. Willow inquired after Drew had gone what was bothering Michael. Willow pushed that Michael inform her despite his reluctance. Michael told her about his conversation with Carly and how the flash drive would provide her negotiating power with the SEC. Michael was reminded by Willow that he had no control over Carly's decision and that it was hers alone to choose. Because Michael and his family had supported her during her fight with leukemia, Willow was confident that Carly would not act in a retaliatory or vindictive manner. She also promised to assist Michael and his family going forward. Terry soon after entered the space to perform some tests on Willow. After telling Willow that he loved her, Michael had a sexual encounter in his hotel room. Zeke acknowledged later that the course of the evening had been unexpected. Zeke questioned Jordan about if she had forgotten about the kiss with her ex after she said that it was just what they both needed. Jordan informed him that it was okay that he had asked the intrusive question because it had served as a wonderful reminder for her to relax and simply have fun. He promptly apologized for the intrusion. No conditions were included, Jordan said. Zeke's phone rang as Jordan and Zeke went in for a kiss. Zeke stated that his client had been attempting to get in touch with him, so he had to take the call. While Zeke spoke to Drew, Jordan snuck out of bed and dressed. Zeke canceled the conversation after he and Drew decided to meet at the pool. Zeke reassured Jordan that she was mistaken when she asked if he had planned the phone call to use as an excuse to end their evening early. He requested her phone number in an effort to make his point. Instead, she gave him her phone and asked him to enter his phone number. After entering his phone number and grinning, Zeke handed Jordan's phone back. Zeke said, "I guess I'll see you when I see you." Jordan discovered that Zeke had left his key card on the nightstand after he had dressed and left. After picking it up, she departed the space. Zeke and Drew welcomed one another at the pool's bar and briefly talked about first meeting at Portia and Curtis' wedding. Zeke wondered if Curtis had heard that Drew had hired Zeke, but Drew responded that Curtis had plenty on his plate already. Due to Drew's decision to desire Zeke to negotiate a settlement with the SEC, he acknowledged that the case might not even get to trial. Zeke was happy that Drew had followed his advice and was going to testify against Carly, but Drew swiftly made it clear that he was going to turn himself in and take full responsibility for the insider trading. Zeke was dumbfounded and questioned why Drew was determined to fall on his sword. Drew explained that the SEC would attempt to persuade Carly to turn against Sonny, which would harm Carly and Sonny's young children and split their family apart. When Zeke pointed out that Drew also had a daughter named Scout, Drew acknowledged that things were different with Scout because she hadn't recognized him when he had returned from his captivity under Victor. Zeke told Drew it would take some time. Feeling content, Drew instructed Zeke to put the agreement in place, but not to complete it. Drew declared, "I still have a trick up my sleeve that just might put an end to this whole thing." Zeke asked whether he was interested in learning Drew's plans. "Probably not," Drew replied. Drew was forewarned by Zeke that a federal judge could always rule that the settlement was too lenient and annul it. Drew said, "I'm going to have to take that chance." Drew contacted Tracy after Zeke left and invited her to meet him by the hotel pool. Zeke was happily surprised to stumble into Jordan at the restaurant as he made his way to his room. Jordan handed him his key card and inquired, "Forgot something?" Zeke made fun of the possibility that he may have purposefully left it behind in the hopes that she would find him. Jordan declined Zeke's invitation to join him for a nightcap because she was planning to cancel. Jordan greeted Portia and Elizabeth as they exited the elevator and entered the restaurant. Portia rushed over to Zeke and gave him a big hug as Jordan awaited the doors to shut. Jordan was startled to hear Portia refer to Zeke as her brother. Ned and Olivia were placed at a table in a different area of the restaurant. Ned admitted that he was pleased that Olivia had begun to believe him. She acknowledged that she had observed his dedication to being honest with her since their reconciliation as they talked about Olivia's change of heart. When Nana saw Ned and Olivia together, she went over to their table and started talking to them. When Ned said that he and Olivia were celebrating since Olivia no longer thought he had reported Drew and Carly to the SEC, Nina was taken aback. Olivia said that she had peered into Ned's heart when Nina questioned what had caused her to change her mind. When Olivia explained that Sonny had begun to view things Olivia's way as well, Nina's smile faded. Valentin asked Anna to contact him on his voicemail at the pub. When Valentin saw Martin approach the bar, he put the phone down. Martin was questioned by Valentin about Anna's whereabouts, but Martin told Valentin to allow Anna some time to figure things out. Martin gave Valentin the reassurance that Anna was safe and that she would get in touch with him shortly. Just then, A text message from a man named Hume requested that Valentin call him immediately
Martin
to
thought
discuss
Anne
an
had
pressing
sent the
issue.
text.
But Valentin clarified that it was for work. Martin was going to confront Valentin about the text message when Nina stopped by and said hello to him. Martin and Nina headed out to the terrace to talk in private before Valentin took advantage of the situation to excuse himself and leave. Ned inquired about Nina's strange behavior at his and Olivia's table. Olivia dismissed it, saying that Nina was just trying to foment discord between her and Carly. Back on the topic of Ned and the conflict he had with his family, Olivia shifted the subject. Olivia counseled Ned to act more maturely and track down the details Drew required. She reassured him that it would let Ned and his cousins cool off a little and help him get back to what was important, family. Martin admitted on the balcony that it was crucial for him to keep things private because he couldn't take the chance of having his computer and cell phone information subpoenaed. Nina was alarmed and questioned why that may be possible. Martin disclosed that the feds had been pressuring him to provide her identification. Nina was horrified as she recalled Martin having assured her that she could maintain her anonymity. Martin clarified that because the FBI was engaged, it was no longer merely a financial issue. Martin disclosed that both parties would push for Nina's identity to be revealed during the discovery phase, and that the feds intended to use the SEC charges to compel Carly into turning on Sonny. All's fair in love and war, they say, especially when it comes to RICO accusations, Martin added. Ned was astonished as he saw the conversation between Martin and Nina from the doorway. Ned hastily retreated out of view before anyone noticed him. Dex informed Sonny that everything was ready at the warehouse when they were both in Sonny's office at Pozzillo's. Sonny thanked Dex, but Dex could tell that Sonny was thinking about something else. Sonny talked openly about Olivia standing up for Ned. Sonny remarked, "I'm beginning to believe her." Sonny acknowledged that Ned was capable of betraying his family, but not while Willow was unwell, leading him to believe that Carly served as a tool to achieve Ned's goals, while Drew suffered as a result. Sonny acknowledged that one of the drawbacks of the life he had chosen was that the feds had previously pursued him while exploiting people he cared about. Sonny reassured Dex that there were advantages as well. They were able to deviate from the restrictions, as Sonny pointed out. Sonny remarked, "Like when you punched that higher officer in the military." Sonny contended that Dex had stopped the man's assault, although Dex admitted it hadn't been a proud moment. "That's what connects us," Sonny remarked. Dex questioned why Sonny would waste his time on Dex if he didn't trust him after Sonny talked about how Dex had betrayed their trust. "Because I think you have a lot of potential," Sonny replied. Sonny also asserted that he could grant Dex's wishes. Dex questioned, "What's that?" "A place where you belong," Sonny replied. Sonny warned Dex that he needed to make a commitment if he wanted to succeed. "You realize you're all in now?" Sonny questioned. "Yes, sir," Dex replied. Sonny dismissed Dex with pleasure. Soon after, Dex revealed that Valentin had been to meet Sonny. Sonny invited Dex to remain as Valentin entered the workspace. In a statement, Valentin said that he had spoken to Hume, who had told him that Pikeman was prepared to initiate plans for a second shipment. Angered, Sonny reminded Valentin that their agreement said that Pikeman was to track out the sniper's sender. Valentin questioned Pikeman's success and acknowledged that it would not be good for them if he had. Sonny responded, "Neither is calling my bluff." Sonny consented to talk about the logistics of the second shipment, but until he had a sincere discussion with Pikeman about the threat he was facing, he refused to move a single carton. Valentin promised to deliver the word from Sonny. Satisfied, Sonny instructed Dex to return home. Sonny inquired about Anna after Dex had gone. Valentin acknowledged that he had not heard from her and had no idea how she was faring. Sonny emphasized to Valentin how long he had known Anna. Sonny added that even though Anna was grieving, she didn't want to bother her loved ones. Valentin shifted gears because he had observed an expensive ring on Nina's finger. Valentin informed Sonny that he understood that, but Valentin wasn't used to being in a relationship where they were both that person. Sonny grinned as he declared his and Nina's engagement. Sunny was congratulated by Valentin. "You guys should be nice to one another," Valentin added. "She's an amazing woman." Jocelyn came into the kitchen at Carly's house as she was looking at the flash drive. Jocelyn questioned, "What is that?" Carly remarked, "You know damn well what this is." But Jocelyn began her not to mislead her. Carly clarified that she was aware of all the events involving Jocelyn, Michael, and Sunny. Jocelyn was questioned by Carly regarding the scheme for Dex to obtain information on Sunny in order to put him behind bars. Carly demonstrated her point by holding up the flash drive with the proof. Jocelyn responded, "Okay, but I have nothing to do with that." Carly said to Jocelyn, "I know that Dex was paid by Michael to infiltrate Sunny's company." The conflict between Jocelyn and Michael made Carly admit that she had figured things out on her own, which Jocelyn found annoying that Michael had told her. Jocelyn clarified that she wasn't upset with Michael because he had put Dex in Sunny's organization. Rather, she was upset with him because he had missed an opportunity to kill Sunny using the proof. Jocelyn maintained that Dex was trapped, but Carly had the ability to make any situation different. Carly questioned, "What are you talking about?" To save herself and Drew, Jocelyn pleaded with her mother to utilize the flash drive. Carly, she beseeched, must exhibit the courage Michael lacked. Jocelyn acknowledged that she wanted to release her mother as much as she wanted to save Dex from being imprisoned in Sunny's realm. Jocelyn received a warning from Carly that her bloodlust for Sunny had been out of control and needed to be curbed. "It's too much," Carly remarked. Jocelyn contended that Sunny had damaged Carly and destroyed their life. Carly acknowledged that Sunny had harmed her and the family, but she insisted that Sunny not be imprisoned. Jocelyn cried and questioned why. Jocelyn questioned, "It's better him than you, right?" Jocelyn had previously recognized that Sunny's world wasn't black and white, but Carly reminded her of this. Jocelyn said that she no longer believed the myth that Sunny utilized his power for good, and that he would always do what was right by Carly in response to Carly's concern about Dex's impact on her. Jocelyn acknowledged that when she looked at Sunny, all she saw was the suffering he had brought on and the instances when they had been caught in the crossfire. "Jocelyn, that's not true," Carly remarked. Jocelyn instructed her mother to inform Dex, Willow, and Morgan about this. Jocelyn quickly regretted her scathing remarks. Jocelyn said, "I'm sorry," with tears in her eyes. The flash drive was stepped on till it was destroyed after Carly dropped it on the ground. Once Michael had given her the flash disk, Carly acknowledged that she ought to have done that right away. Despite Jocelyn's amazement, Carly reassured her that she understood. Carly was aware that Jocelyn was snapping at the people he cared about since they had proven to be fallible and careless with Jocelyn's heart. Carly acknowledged that she had taken a page out of her own playbook. Jocelyn, who was devastated, charged Carly with damning Dex. Jocelyn declared, "He's finished." "He isn't," Carly said. Jocelyn was asked to stay with Donna by Carly. Jocelyn inquired as to her mother's whereabouts. Carly declared, "I'll handle everything." Soon after, Dex walked into the kitchen. Dex understood there was a problem right away. "There is no turning back now," Jocelyn declared. Carly got out of the elevator and went over to Michael in the hospital. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.